Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, a joint raid on local sellers of illegal lottery tickets netted local law enforcement thousands of dollars worth of out-of-state tickets and 2 arrests. On Tuesday, after months of surveillance, the VI lottery and local agencies made their move and scored a small victory. But lottery officials say the law needs to change for this victory to mean something. News 2's April Knight has that story.
Thousands of dollars worth of illegal lottery tickets were confiscated Tuesday. That's according to the Virgin Islands Lottery, which helped coordinate the raid.
Well, this is something that's been happening for years. For the past couple of months, I've been receiving concerned citizens calls letting us know that they have been seeing illegal lottery selling on the street.
Luis Osorio, Director of Security at the VI Lottery, said the raid was in conjunction with the Department of Justice and the VI Police Department.
We started to do counter surveillance, and we found that they were doing illegal transactions that went to the public. Multiple people involved.
The ticket sellers set up in this area of Frenchtown. The tickets, more than 150 of them, are from the Puerto Rico Lottery. For out-of-state lottery tickets to be sold legally in a state, it must be sanctioned by the government.
Which is illegal by law to sell Puerto Rico tickets, and they're illegal to possess or to transfer.
According to lottery officials, the selling of illegal tickets in the Virgin Islands hurts legitimate sales of VI lottery tickets. It's also linked to organized crime.
People see the lady on the street just selling the tickets. They don't know how big this is. They're tied to money laundering, sometimes drugs, gun trafficking, all these things.
The selling of illegal lottery tickets is a common problem that might need a change in legislation in order to be solved. The crime should be bumped up to a felony from just being a misdemeanor, according to Osorio.
The effort will be worth it, because sometimes you just do all this operation, and since it's a misdemeanor, they'll be next month back on the street.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Now, while those suspects are in custody, this case is still under investigation. According to the VI Lottery, officials have expressed that they're monitoring multiple locations. Well, this week, if you heard the noise, the Virgin Islands National Guard, they're hosting an FBI-sponsored training workshop on St. Croix. That's from Wednesday. It started today and it's going on until Thursday at the Estate Bethlehem Military Compound. Various local response agencies, chemical industry stakeholders, and the VING 23rd Civil Support Team is in attendance. The training will be taught by FBI experts in weapons of mass destruction and FBI bomb technicians. The FBI training will focus on industrial chemicals encountered by first responders. The 2-day training consists of classroom instruction, lecture, and field demonstrations. According to the FBI, the training allows U.S. VI response entities to acquire knowledge on dangerous chemicals used in improvised explosive devices and practice countermeasures to defeat those devices. The exercise will utilize various training aids which can generate noise in and around the vicinity of the facility. The VI National Guard apologizes in advance. VIPA has launched the Earl Larry Finch 2 for use in St. Croix harbors this week. Its first assignment was to escort the Captain Dan tug and barge into the Christiansted Channel as it delivered oil to Wapa. The new $500,000 pilot boat purchased by the Port Authority replaces the original Earl Larry Finch vessel that was taken offline last year due to storm damage. The harbors had been serviced by just one pilot vessel since then. The Port Authority now has 2 pilot boats to assist all crews, cargo, and private vessels with entry to berth safely. The boat is 32 feet long and outfitted with brand new state-of-the-art engines and equipped with navigational instruments. Testing of voting machines was held on Tuesday, July 12th at the St. Croix Elections Office. Now, the purpose of the testing, of course, is to certify that the voting system is accurately reading the ballots. St. Croix board members present were Vice Chairwoman Barbara Jackson McIntosh, Member Adelbert Bryan, Member Lisa Harris Moorhead, and Member Raymond J. Williams. Supervisor of Election Caroline Fox and St. Croix Deputy Supervisor Genevieve Whittaker were also present. Senator Kenneth Gittens was also present and viewed that process. The Senate Finance Committee heard from several more government agencies today. Officials from Schneider Regional Medical Center testified, led by CEO Bernard Wheatley. According to Wheatley, even the hospital is already on track for $14.4 million in total net loss after the budgeted government appropriations. In addition, a lot of their revenue is eaten by contractual deductions and bad debt.
SRMC has improved that loss from $15.8 million originally projected through leadership initiatives. Without further specific initiatives to enhance revenue, curtail spending, and additional government support, this severe deficit will continue and exacerbate the financial situation. And then uncompensated care for uninsured or those who cannot afford their co-insurances or deductibles. SRMC provided a total of $25 million in uncompensated care for FY 2015 and is trending at about $22.5 million for FY 2016.
Meanwhile, the Committee on Finance met with the Office of Governor and the Bureau of Economic Research during the fiscal year 2017 budget overview on Tuesday. The fiscal year 2017 budget request is $9,951,000. The financial budget request covers mandatory costs, they say, and planned initiatives for the central operations of the Office of the Governor and Bureau of Economic Research. The Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture also shared their fiscal year 2017 budget request of $4,087,000. In comparison to fiscal year 2016, the budget request is the same. Tanya Marie Singh, Chief Executive Officer and Chief Operating Officer of the Virgin Islands Public Broadcasting System, stated that for fiscal year 2017, their budget request is $4,436,000. Acting Governor Osbert Potter informs the public that the 2016 property tax bills, which have been issued to all property owners on record as of January 1st, 2016, will not offer the 5% discount as in previous years because the Office of the Tax Assessor, he says, will no longer issue 2 bills each year. The discount was given to assist property owners that may experience hardship as a result of issuing 2 bills in the same year. The Office of the Tax Assessor is now on schedule with the issuance of the property bills. Therefore, will issue 1 bill per year going forward. Additionally, most property owners can apply for the credits that are available. You can call the office for more information. Turn our attention overseas. It was an emotional day in Dallas, Texas, as thousands of people joined national leaders in mourning the 5 police officers killed in that ambush attack last week. The nation is not only mourning the deaths of those officers, there is also sadness and outrage over the shooting deaths of Philando Castile and Alton Sterling. And amidst the sorrow, there is growing agreement that it is time to come together to work on those solutions. Kim Hutchison has that.
After an outpouring of grief in Dallas and across the nation, Police Senior Corporal Lauren Aarons and DART Police Officer Brent Thompson will be laid to rest Wednesday. A private mass will be held for Sergeant Michael J. Smith. Fresh from speaking at their memorial service in Dallas, President Obama will convene a conversation on community policing with police, faith leaders, and civil rights activists Wednesday. When the president returned from Dallas, he met privately with law enforcement at the White House. One attendee described it as a productive conversation.
I think it was an extraordinary meeting. I think the president was sincere in listening. I think he understands that the difficult task of law enforcement.
Judge Glenda Hatchett, who's representing Philando Castile's mother, says it's time to implement reform.
There have to be some national guidelines here. And I think we've got to look at, first of all, hiring, retention, training in these situations, and we have got to be honest that we need to do better than we're doing. Do I have all the answers? I do not.
Also Wednesday, Alton Sterling's son Cameron, who broke down before TV cameras last week, will speak publicly in front of the convenience store where his father was shot. I'm Kim Hutcherson reporting.
Leaders of the Black Lives Matter movement have condemned the Dallas shooting. Protests continue around the nation on the shootings of both Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge and Philando Castile in Falcon Heights, Minnesota. Family members of both men also condemned the shooting deaths of the 5 Dallas police officers. Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. And according to the numbers there, we can see the Dow up 24, NASDAQ down 17. Coming up on News 2, our new Zika awareness segment with the Department of Health, what you need to know. Plus, some junior achievers are so proud of their accomplishments, and they should be. Find out what they learned. Welcome back. Well, as we promised, we shared a couple of weeks ago, we are partnering with Department of Health for Zika awareness, and here is our first segment. Well, we would like to welcome Commissioner Davis of the Department of Health to talk to us about Zika and the department's campaign called Fight the Bite, protecting yourself, your family, and the USVI from Zika. And this segment we are calling Zika 101. Zika Prevention 101, rather. Now, Zika news has been updated locally and nationally because of the rising cases. First of all, Commissioner Davis, tell us, what is Zika?
Well, Zika is a disease that is spread primarily through mosquitoes, and there are several different types of mosquitoes from the Aedes branch. And many people are infected with this Zika virus, really don't experience any symptoms. So basically that's what Zika is.
And where was Zika first discovered?
Well, Zika was discovered many years ago in 1947 for the younger population. And it was discovered in a forest in Uganda, which is actually named the Zika forest. And before 2007, there were only like 14 cases of Zika, but we know that their cases were probably underreported because, you know, we don't collect data, especially in places such as Africa routinely at that time. Zika outbreaks have occurred in many different locations around the world, and most of the symptoms that have been experienced for those outbreaks are similar around the world as well.
So it's not necessarily that it's been dormant, but it's just been underreported?
It's been underreported. I mean, it could have been dormant as well, but we just hadn't had many cases until now, where we're seeing this reemergence of Zika in other places outside of Africa.
Why would you say there's a rise all of a sudden? What do you think changed?
Well, probably, I think some of it has to do with climate change. You know, a lot more moisture in various parts of the country. And when we don't take prevention to eliminating standing water, that is a haven for breeding mosquitoes. So that could be part of it as well. But a lot of research is currently being conducted down in Brazil, where the majority of the cases are being found right now. The federal government, as well as other countries, are conducting a lot of research. And so we should find out more information about that in the future.
Be sure to tune in each Wednesday for updates. Meanwhile, the Department of Health has received funding that allows the department to aggressively move forward with the implementation of programs to better serve the community in the area of substance abuse, relief, and awareness. And an interest meeting for community-oriented organizations to learn more about how they can obtain funding to be involved and assist the department in carrying out various substance abuse prevention models, programs. That's planned. Those are the dates there. On St. Croix, Thursday, July 14th, Virgin Islands Cardiac Center from 9 a.m. to 12. And then on St. Thomas, Friday, July 15th, Belongo Bay Beach Resort, Conference Room A, same time. Now, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration has awarded the Virgin Islands Department of Health a 5-year strategic prevention agreement. Well, for a few weeks during the summer, Innovative has been the afternoon hangout for a small group of students with big dreams. These students, who are part of the Junior Achievement Program, created a profitable business that can also help clean up the Virgin Islands. That concept earned them a trip abroad. News 2's April Knight has more.
These are not your regular students. They're presidents and CEOs of their own company, thanks to Junior Achievement's JA Company program.
The goal of Junior Achievement really is to expose young people from kindergarten all the way to high school on entrepreneurship, workplace readiness, and financial literacy.
This group calls their company Hello. That means helping everyone live life onward. Their goal is to turn the territory's trash into treasure.
As a group, we came up with eco-friendly because one of the major problems in the Virgin Islands is that we have no way of recycling. So we figured that this program could be a great opportunity to help our community while still looking at the goal of a Junior Achievement Company.
For months, this group gathered here at Innovative, where they were mentored by innovative employees who volunteered to help them manufacture their products.
We set recycling bins out at jobs and different schools, and we collect them, we cut them, do all sort of stuff with it into someone else's treasure.
And all of that effort paid off. Late last month, they won the regional competition at the Marriott against 4 other teams from across the territory. Now these students are headed to Mexico in December to compete against students like themselves from some 15 countries in the Regional Company of the Year competition.
Last year we went to Jamaica and we competed against 15 companies. This year I think we're going to bring home the bacon and win it all.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Great job. Big congratulations to the students and to innovative employees Armisia Martin and Kaylee Richardson who mentored them. Good luck in your competition in Mexico at the end of this year. We'll get an update. Eligible veterans, here's some news for you. If you are awaiting the regular veterans license plate, you may now head out to the Office of Veterans Affairs to be issued a set. In addition, the veterans plates can also now be personalized. Once per quarter, veterans will be able to order personalized plates through the Office of Veterans Affairs. However, the personalized plates must be paid for by the veteran, while the regular plates are free to those eligible. Also, the Virgin Islands Office of Veterans Affairs has moved its St. Croix office to the Scion Farm Shopping Center. Just some quick reminders there. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.
We'll see beautiful weather as we go through the next couple of days in the Eastern Caribbean. Just looking at a few clouds across the satellite here this afternoon. A little bit more moisture to the south and east of the Lesser Antilles, but hey, none of that working its way into our area. Let's go to another layer here. Look at the radar. Any of the clouds that we see not producing much in the way of wet weather. A shower just popped up over Puerto Rico late this afternoon. And a few more downpours to the south of the Virgin Islands. Can't totally rule out a shower through the rest of this evening. But I can tell you, I think a lot of folks are going to stay nice and dry. Temperatures nice and warm, too, in the lower 80s to start the day on Thursday. Then tomorrow for St. John, maybe a shower passing through. Not a whole lot of moisture to work with, at least not compared to normal. Certainly still the typical mugginess with temperatures close to 90 degrees. We'll be in the upper 80s in St. Thomas with once again a chance for a shower or two in the area. St. Croix, almost a carbon copy. 89 degrees during the afternoon with a shower or two in the area. Water temperatures generally in the lower to middle 80s. Very nice. Winds out of the east at about 10 to 15 knots. The waves about 3 to 5 feet, and those winds are going to be gusty during the afternoon. Could be gusting up to 20 knots at times. Same goes for the Caribbean side. No tropical waves to move through. Not only do those bring showers, they also bring gustier winds and churn up the seas a bit, but without any of that, things nice and quiet on both sides of our shores. Here's a look at that extended forecast. A shower possible in spots, but no big chances for widespread heavy rainfall with a lack of tropical moisture coming up out of the eastern Atlantic. Temperatures each afternoon will climb into the upper 80s and lower 90s. And those overnight lows will be in the upper 70s to lower 80s over the next few nights. So again, could see a shower or two. They would last for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, but we can still look at a lot of great sunshine, great beach weather, great for the boaters as well. Sandy, back to you.
Thank you for that. Time for our News 2 weather picture there by Talia Morris, 8 years of age, representing Ricardo Richards Elementary School, sharing this beautiful scenic picture there showing a cloudy day, but very calm on the seas as well. Talia, thank you for that. Send us your News 2 weather picture to be featured right here on News 2. Be sure to include your name, age, school, brief description of your work of art to News 2 Innovative Business Center, 4611 Tutu Park, Suite 300, St. Thomas, VI 00802. Be sure to stick around. News 2 Sports is coming up next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. Major League Baseball had its 2016 All-Star Game last night in San Diego, home of the Padres, as the American League tried to make it 4 wins in a row over their National League counterparts. Now, just before the first pitch, Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred joined Rod Carew and his family, and the family of the late Padres great Tony Gwynn, and named the batting titles after the 2 Hall of Famers. Gwynn gets the NL honor, and Carew the AL championship. First inning action, and the Cubs' Chris Bryant, in his first All-Star game, launches the first pitch he sees into the seats. NL up 1-0. The lead didn't last long. Bottom second, and the Royals' Eric Hosmer goes deep to tie the score at 1. Still the bottom of the second, and the Royals' Eduardo Perez blasts a 2-run dinger for a 3-1 American League lead. Hey, fun fact, both AL homers were hit off of Johnny Cueto, who played with the Royals last year. Moving on to the top of the ninth, AL up 4-2, 1 on, 1 out, and the Rockies' Nolan Arenado grounds into the game-ending 5-4-3 double play. AL wins 4-2, the 11th win in the last 14 All-Star games, giving the AL representatives in this year's World Series home field advantage. And Hosmer gets MVP honors with a homer and 2 RBIs. It was also a special night for the Red Sox' David Ortiz. The 40-year-old slugger will retire after the season and receive a standing ovation from fans and teammates before leaving the game in the 3rd inning. That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
As always, thanks for that, Gary. And we'd like to thank you for joining us for all the latest in news, weather, and sports. I'm Sandra Guman Singh. We'll see you next time.